Good morning, Tottenham fans. The transfer window is open. We're the second day in already. Why haven't we signed anyone? Well, because we're dealing with someone called Daniel Levy. Now, he's come out and quoted that Ange's job is safe for now. Now, these are the kind of quotes I don't want to hear because if you really cared about this club and cared about winning trophies, the thing you should be saying, Daniel, is I'm going to back this manager and I'm going to sign the players he needs. He's in a crisis at the moment, and I'm going to make sure he has the right tools to go forward and have an improvement in the second half of the season. What he's choosing to do is choosing to say he's okay for now, but if results go badly, then I'm going to sack him. And what's going to happen is this is going to affect our transfer window. And not only affect our transfer window, but this could affect the rest of our season. You can't underestimate how important it is this transfer window, how important this really, really is for our club. Because if he doesn't not take decisive action, whether it's back or whether it's sack, it needs to happen within this week, in my opinion. We've only got 1 month of this transfer window, and decisions need to be made pronto. They need to be made ASAP. Let us know what you actually are doing, Daniel, rather than being coy about everything as usual. So first of all, let's say Levy decides to sign players for Ange Postecoglou this week. Let's just say we need defenders against Newcastle. We haven't got any, and we've got important Liverpool game against Liverpool in the semi-final as well. So we need defenders. So let's say Daniel Levy buys defenders based on what Ange thinks, based on what his system, how his system plays. Maybe if we bought a left side, a centre back, he has to be quick, he has to be good on the ball, has to be good at pressing, etc., etc. Things that Ange looks for in defenders. Let's say that he fills certain positions that Ange needs, like a replacement left back if needed, and obviously an extra centre back, maybe a defensive midfielder, maybe another right wing attacker. In my opinion, what we need. Let's say he does all this, and then let's say mid January, January the 15th. I don't want to jinx it, but let's say January the 15th, he decides to sack Ange. Right. What will cause the problem there is you're going to have to bring in another manager now that suits the same system as what we're playing because it won't work. You're going to have a bunch of players again not being able to play the new system because they're used to the AN system or they've been brought in specifically for that system. We're going to end up with loads of deadwood again because they're not going to be able to perform. The next manager is going to come in, have the same injury record as Ange Postecoglou, and it's just going to go round and round and round, and that could ruin our whole season. So what I mean as well is if you decide to sack him now and then bring in a manager and then gave him the whole transfer window to maybe bring in some players that he wants, then maybe that could work. But at the moment, you may as well stick with Ange, get him the players he needs, hopefully get some players back from injury. Hopefully the younger players can improve even more than they're doing now, and we can have a good second half of the season. We can really push for what we really want to do, and that is win a trophy. The last thing I want Daniel Levy to do is be in limbo about this. The last thing I want him to do is not sign any players because he's unsure about Ange Postecoglou, and then wait until 15th to 20th to 25th of January and then sack him and then say to the new manager, sorry, we didn't have time to bring the players in you wanted. We end up with no players. The new manager will have no new players to fill in the injuries. He's going to have no defense. So and he can't implement his own style of play because there will be no training sessions because we're playing 3 games every week or 2 games a week for the next month or so. He won't be able to implement nothing. We'll probably go backwards. We'll probably end up losing more games than we are now, which is very hard to do, but we probably would. So it would be very, very difficult unless Daniel Levy right now makes a firm statement and says, I'm going to back you, Ange, and no matter what happens, you're going to be in a job after January. Otherwise, it's just going to go all tits up. It really will. Then Daniel Levy will blame the manager and scapegoat his whole process and what he's done in this job. And I'll keep saying Levy, but this is Enoch too. We always forget is Enoch as well. Maybe Daniel Levy wants more funds. Maybe he does want to put more money in, but Enoch is saying no to him. So we don't know that whole story either. But So what we should do, backhand, give him 4 to 5 players. We know the positions we need. I've gone over it a lot of times. We all know it's that obvious what players we need. So I don't really need to go into it. I haven't mentioned a goalie, but maybe we can get a young goalie coming in that's good enough to be a backup for Vicario and maybe one day take his place. I can't see us signing 4 players on a permanent deal, so we have to be very, very clever with some loan moves. I heard some news yesterday that Leipzig don't want Werner back, so we can't really get rid of him and bring in, like, let's say, Grealish on loan. So I don't even think the Grealish thing will happen now. If we could be clever with a couple of loans and maybe have a obligation to buy, not an obligation to buy, maybe an option to buy. So if they turn out good, we can buy them. If they turn out crap, we can send them back. Um, but Levy and Enoch have never been questioned as much as they're being questioned now. And that's because there's still a lot of fan base that still believe in Ange. They still believe in his desire and his attitude and his winning mentality and his, likability. And I know there's a lot of fans that want him out now. I've spoke to a lot of them, and it's their opinion. They can have that, and I understand it massively. I really do. And but if if Levy now can, Levy's got the pressure on him now. If we can all back Ange and say to Levy, this is down to you now. You can't scapegoat anyone. This is you. If you don't back this manager, then you will never back anyone at any time. We have never had an injury crisis this bad before in the history of our club, I don't think. So not backing him now will just show exactly where Levy is regarding caring about this football club. So 24 years of Levy, all the promises, the new stadium, the increased ticket sales, being told it's all going on the team, etc., etc. There's many, many other things we've been told. And we are now in the same position as when he took over. Now, in 2001, we finished 12th. Obviously, he came in February 2001, but we finished 12th. We are in 12th now. We've got a brand new shiny stadium and great facilities for training, etc., etc. But what's the point of having all that if you look in your trophy cabinet and it's nothing in there? What is the point? So we really need to put pressure on this Daniel Levy and say, look, we need backing now. We need to go for something. We're still in all the cups. We've got a chance to have a really good second half of the season. We've got a very good chance of winning that Europa League, but we just need the backing. If he doesn't do it this time, I'll be Levy out every single video, and I'll go to the marches if I have to. I'll go to the protests marches. I think they're more called protests, but I'll go to the protests. I'll be emailing the club. I'll doing everything I can to say I won't be giving him no more money either. I won't go to no games. I won't buy no more of these t-shirts. I won't buy none of that. I'll just, I'll stop giving the club money until he's gone, because this is now or never for Levy. I'm telling you, it's now or never. We've won 1 League Cup in the time he's been here. It's not good enough. It's not. I'm not going to keep blaming the managers. I'm sick of blaming the managers. I'm sick of saying, "Oh, get another manager and everything will be all right." It won't be all right, because we keep seeing time and time again these managers not being backed. Conte, yeah, I didn't like how he did it, but what he said was right. I didn't like his attitude about what he was saying about a club and saying it publicly. But he came into the club. He probably knew deep down that Levy wouldn't back him, but maybe he thought he could change his mind. No, he didn't back him. It's funny now that Conte could do what Conte could do with the players we've got now. It'd be insane. But Levy not backing Ange will probably be the end of Levy. It will. This month. I really do. I think a lot more people will turn on Levy if if he doesn't back him in this window. I'm sick of seeing advertisement for Formula One. I'm sick of seeing advertisements for concerts, for boxing events, for dare walks, for whatever. Beyonce coming to the stadium. I'm sick of hearing all that. I want to hear Enoch talk about the club and how we're going to push this team forward and how he's 100% invested on the club first. The American football, the home of American football. No, it's not. It's the home of Tottenham Hotspur. Now, please get that in your head, Levy, because soon everyone's going to turn on you and you're going to have to leave, mate. I think he's trying to leave. I think this is the thing. I think he does want to leave. He does want to get an investor in, and he doesn't want to be here. And that's why he's not investing in the team now. He doesn't care. He just wants these numbers to be better. He wants these numbers, like the wage bill, to be lower. He wants to advertise his club as a really good business and sell it on. So this is the last chance I'm giving him. I don't normally talk about him. I normally just, focus on the team and the manager and support them. But if he's the orchestrator of us always having to settle for second best all the time, then it has to change. It really does. Sorry for this massive rant, but like for me, back him now, get the players he needs in, get the positions filled that he needs in, bring a bit of experience, bring a bit of quality, bring a bit of, tenacity, bring a bit of leadership into this club, bring the players that can really change our season around. I can't see it happening. I really can't. And I've just- I've got nothing to say. My words won't come out of my mouth because I'm so frustrated that this club has got so much potential to be a massive club. We're the eighth richest club in the world. We could be a massive, massive club. We've got the potential of doing it. We've got a manager that really believes he can do it too. We've had managers like Jose, Conte, Pochettino. They all could have done something amazing at this club, but there's always one guy in the way. It needs to change now. It really needs to change. Let me know in the comments if what you would say if Tottenham are not back this window. What do you how do you feel about Levy? I know you still some of you are Levy in. I've been like Levy middle. I've not even cared about him, to be honest. But now it's getting to a point that the more he does, the more you realise that I think was what did Brian Daigle say that time? The camel that hits the straw's back, or something like that. Something he said at one stage, you're going to start turning against Levy. And for me, it's this January window. Let me know in the comments what you think, and come on, you Spurs.